Let us take a look at NASA research mathematician Katherine Johnson, who was born in 1918 in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. Growing up, Johnson and her family had to move from their hometown due to there being no public schooling for black children past the 8th grade. They would move away so that she could attend high school. She would graduate from high school at just 14 and college at the age of 18, obtaining degrees in both mathematics and French from West Virginia State College. Johnson was a human computer and even stated that from a young age she would count everything. From the steps on the road, steps up to the church, the number of dishes she would wash, just about everything. Johnson's achievement would land her a role working at the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, also known as NACA. At the time, NACA was segregated, and black employees were forced to use a separate bathroom and dining facilities. She was part of the West Area Computing Unit, which was made up of a group of African American women who manually performed complex mathematical calculation for the program engineers. In 1958, NACA was incorporated into the newly formed National Aeronautics and Space Administration, we now known as NASA. This led to the closing down of the segregated facilities. Johnson was part of the Space Task Group at NASA, and in 1960, she and one of the group's engineers co-authored a paper about calculation for placing aircraft into orbit. It was the first time a woman in her division received recognition as an author of a research report, and Johnson would further go on to co-author and author another 26 research reports. During NASA's Mercury spaceflight program, which ran between 1961 and 1963, Johnson would play an important role in calculating the Path for Freedom 7, the spacecraft that put the first U.S. astronaut in space, Alan B. Shepard Jr. Impressed by this, astronaut John Glenn requested Johnson assisted him with his own flight program in which she verified that the electronic computer had planned his flight correctly. Glenn successively made history aboard Friendship 7, becoming the first U.S. astronaut to orbit the Earth. Johnson was also part of the team working on the Apollo 11 mission in 1969, calculating where and when to launch the rocket which sent the first 3 men to the moon. Johnson would receive many awards and honors for her work during her career, and in 2016, NASA named the building after her, called the Katherine G. Johnson Computational Research Facility. Author Margot Lee Shetterly would publish a book called Hidden Figures, The American Dream, and the Untold Story of the Black Women Mathematicians who helped win the space race. The book tells the story of 3 African American women who worked as part of the West Area Computing Unit, which included Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson. A movie of the same name was released in 2016.